Hi there, it's David with Yellow Weld. Today I'm jumping in to talk to you about gates. So it's a common inquiry that we get, and we get lots of questions about how can we best pre-plan our project, as well as what factors are involved in pricing. So the first consideration that we have is going to be height and span. This one's sort of hard to dial in, to be honest, to give you ballpark pricing for every situation, because everyone's driveway is slightly different widths. People have different tastes about how tall they would like their gates to be. So the best thing that we found to do is to simply make a 10-foot wide gate that's 5 foot tall and price that as an example for everyone else to kind of compare against their project. So one of the reasons that height and span is important is as projects get wider and taller, they become heavier, they use more material, they use more labor hours to put together. Sometimes if things get very heavy, we need to get special hinges for it, or we may need equipment in order to safely handle it and move it around. The next element is going to be style and design. There's many different styles and designs that can be done in gates, and they all have their own aesthetics. As things become more intricate, typically they become more expensive due to the extra time and attention required to make it look nice. Material. So the most common material that we see is going to be mild steel. Stainless may sometimes be used, and aluminum is the next most common one. Aluminum is a good option for larger spans, to reduce weight, so that we don't have as many concerns about stresses on our columns and the concrete that they're attached to. And they can also be a good option for corrosion resistance, which takes us into finish. So there's a few common finishing options here. One is paint, one is powder coat, and one is galvanize. So depending on the application and the aesthetic that you're looking for, there's usually one that's going to be a best fit for you. The next thing to consider is going to be footings and concrete. So depending on whether or not the area that we're going to be attaching this gate to is sufficient, we may need to bore a hole or cut a hole in an existing space to pour a concrete footer. We don't do concrete, we're not concrete experts. It's something that we can facilitate, and we can help source this service, but it is a challenge to consider here. Many concrete contractors in the area have minimums of $3,000 to $4,000, which can be a deterrent for some to do these projects. At times there's options for customers to pour their own concrete. It's kind of whatever works best for your situation. And then the last one to consider is going to be any sort of add-on. There's actuators, openers, slides, and locking mechanisms. There's many different styles of these that come in different looks and kind of serve different purposes. So these also tie into the height and span and weight of the gate. As things become heavier or have longer lengths cantilevered out from a column, sometimes we need beefier hinges, stronger actuators, and these typically are going to be more expensive to do. Another component that's worth considering here is that many of these things involve an electrical component, which means that we have to hire a licensed electrician to wire it all up and make sure that it works properly for you. So as you can see, there's quite a few different factors that go into pricing here. The best place to start is to go to our services page under gates, and you can see our most up-to-date pricing on an example gate. The next thing to do, if you're interested in getting a quote, is to get us some pictures of the area, some rough measurements, and tell us a little bit about what you're looking for, and we can kind of weigh all of these factors and try to get you the best idea of pricing that we can. So if you have any questions, please reach out. We're happy to have a dialogue. Take care.